but are not equal to all living entities. Indeed, although they profess to be very religious, they kill poor animals. Such religions has no meaning. Srimad Bhagavatam 1-8 says, Dharma svanutisa pumsa vivakshena katasuyaha dot paradetyati ratin shrama eva ikevalam. One may be very expert in following the religious principles of his own sect, but if he has no tendency to love the Supreme Personality of Godhead, his observance of religious principles is simply a waste of time. One must develop a sense of loving Vasudeva. Vasudeva Sarvamiti Samatma Subhudo Lava. The sign of a devotee is that he is a friend to everyone. Suidam Sarvabhutanam. The devotee will never allow a poor animal to be killed in the name of religion. There is a difference between a superficially religious person and a devotee of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. We find that there have been many great heroes in history, but they could not escape from the cruel hands of death. Even the greatest hero cannot escape from the ruling power of the Supreme Personality of Godhead when Krishna comes as death. That is described by Krishna himself. Mrityu sarva aras chaham. The Lord appearing as death takes away a hero's so-called power. Even Hiranyakashipu could not be saved when Nishingadev appeared before him as death. One's material strength is nothing before the strength of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Translation again. Someone may possess full knowledge of religion, but still not be kind to all living entities. In someone, whether human or demigod, there may be renunciation, but that is not the cause of liberation. Someone may possess great power, and yet be unable to check the power of eternal time. Someone else may have renounced attachment to the material world, yet he cannot compare to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, no one is completely freed from the influence of the material modes of nature. Om Agyana Tirantasya Gyana Gyana Chalakaya Chakshu Sunitam Yena Tasma Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Madhukistam Stapikam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadamayam Dadati Svapatantikam He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namusute Tapta Kachana Gaurangi Ade Vrindavadeshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vanchakalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Yaevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So here we have Goddess Laxmi, the goddess of fortune, who is making, we can say, an examination. She is surrounded by high personalities, demigods, Mahatmas, great personalities. And she is trying to see who is who in the assembly. The story takes place in what we could say a far-out story. Actually, this Srimad Bhagavatam is full of far-out stories. And this one is churning milk with on one part the asuras, the demons, and the other side the demigods, so the devatas. So to us, it may look like just like a fairy tale, actually. But through this apparently fairy tale, there is a very strong and deep meaning. So here, goddess of fortune, goddess Laxmi, with the eternal consort of Lord Vishnu in the spiritual sky, has appeared right from the ocean of milk. Before she appeared, many other persons appeared, and also different items of devotional service appeared. Still now she is here, she's watching what is the situation here. And actually, just like every feminine person, female tendency, she's looking for protection. She's looking for protection. The natural tendency of a woman, of a Mataji, on the material plane, is to look for protection and to look for a right and good husband. We all need protection, either as a male or a female. Of course, the protector is by essence Lord Krishna himself. Well, and after all, Matajis or Pitajis, everyone is looking for protection, and the supreme protection will come from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Sri Krishna. Still, to come back to our point, and as we shall see that after, and this is the next verse, she will find protection at the lotus feet of Lord Krishna himself. Mukunda, the one who gives liberation. Of course, I will not speak of the next verse today, but still now let's consider what is the position of goddess of fortune. She's considering different kinds of persons who are situated right in front of her, and she's trying to figure out what are the qualities of those persons, to try to find if in one of them she may find the perfect protector and the perfect husband, actually. So here are the points she's making. Someone may possess full knowledge of religion, but still not be kind to all living entities. So, full knowledge of religion, this is quite actually an important qualification. On a material plane, this is quite important qualification. But still, even if he's good in religion, full knowledge of religion, still not be kind to all living entities. So although you may know religion, still there is defect. So this is the first category of persons she's considering. Someone with who has full knowledge of religion, but cannot be kind to everyone. In someone, let's say here, so in someone else, whether human or demigod, there may be renunciation. Again, from a practical point of view and a practical spiritual point of view, this is nice to be to have some renunciation. We have to renounce something in order to get something higher. This is the process of tapasya, which is accepted in all bona fide scriptures. In order to get some advancement in spiritual life, we have to renounce. So renunciation is nice, but that is not the cause of liberation. Again, she's thinking on the other aspect of the point. Of course, you may be renunciate, but still, if you are only renunciate, that will not give you liberation. And we see actually that Srila Prabhupada is making the point very often in his purports, that there are very austere yogis who make tapasyas, but after some times they cannot only remain in tapasya. After some times, if they don't get some higher taste, they have to fall down. There is the story of Sobari Muni who was doing tapasya in the river, which is not easy, to say the least. Still, he got disturbed and had to go back for some time to material life. Again, the goddess of fortune, Laxmi Devi, is considering another kind of person. Someone may possess great power. She is not speaking of what power it is, but still, great power, and yet be unable to check the power of eternal time. Time I am, says Lord Krishna in Bhagavad Gita. Yes, and actually, time is, you cannot avoid time. Even you are the most fallen or the most advanced devotee, time is there for everyone. And that at some time, time is the face of the face of Krishna that we'll have to see one day. Someone else may have renounced attachment to the material world. Again, renunciation is mentioned here. Yet, he cannot compare to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. No one can compare to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, no one is completely freed from the influence of the material modes of material nature. And this is the point. This is the point. Everything in the material plane, on the material plane, is affected by the three modes of material nature. And I will give you a trick here. If you lack of inspiration when you have to give the Srimad Bhagavatam class, be sure you can speak of the modes of material nature. There is a perfect topic. Because if you consider, practically speaking, the modes of material nature are found everywhere in our Shastras. I just made, for pleasure, I can say, for a little study of Bhagavad Gita, and consider that approximately 150 verses in Bhagavad Gita out of 700 deal directly or indirectly, and actually very directly, on the modes of material nature. What to speak of the Srimad Bhagavatam, if you read just Krishna book, practically speaking, or on the very strong analysis given by Srila Prabhupada in the chapter on the prayers of the Veda personified, it's a full study of the modes of material nature, and so on and so forth. So, Devi Esha Gunamayi Mama Magaya Duratya Mame Vasya Prapadyante Mayamitam Tarantite. These modes of material nature, we cannot escape. We cannot expect. They are here everywhere. And so the point is how to make a good use of a bad bargain. We have to deal with them. And these modes of material nature, they affect us in all aspects of life. So, and even, you see, even physically speaking, among humans and among animals, we see that our physical character is directly influenced by the modes of material nature. For instance, when we see the influence of planets, which is that someone who is very much under the influence of Rahu, in France we call it Saturn, very, very often is a very thin person, quite tall person, likes to be solitary, like to very, very strict, very working man or working Mataji, and like doesn't speak to anyone and very, very serious in life. Another character will be more influenced by Indra, by Jupiter. He's more round belly, round body, round character, and much more speaking, enlivening kind of character. So even physically speaking, we are all influenced by the modes of material nature. So then, what to do with this? But actually, when we are seeking for spiritual life, we have to approach a bona fide spiritual master. Tadviti Pranipratena, Prasna Sevaya, Padekshantite Gyanam, Gyaninas Tadvadashi. And the spiritual master is going to give us a service corresponding to our nature, to our guna and karma. And with the expert eye of the spiritual master, and with his special mercy, we hope to make some advancements in spiritual life and to get the dust of the lotus feet of Krishna by performing our devotional service in our guna karma, according to what Krishna has given us as a result of our past lives. Sattva Kaleshu, there is a verse like this, chapter 8 of Bhagavad Gita. Yes. Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mam anusmara yudyascha mayarpita mano budir mamevesyasya samsaya. Therefore, Arjun, you should always think of me in the form of Krishna, and at the same time carry out your prescribed duty out of fighting. With your activities dedicated to me and your mind and intelligence fixed on me, you will attain me without doubt. So here is Arjun, who is definitely in Raja Gun, if we can say, on a practical and material aspect. Still, of course, Arjun is a very special person because he's an eternal companion of Krishna. But still, let's say, on a material aspect, he is a Kshatriya, and Kshatriyas, they are very much empowered to fight against enemies. And this is a sign of Rajagun. So Krishna will instruct Arjun to remain in his guna karma, in one sense, as not guna karma, not to use guna karma, or more precisely, to use guna karma for the sake of religion, for the sake of the service to the Supreme Lord. And actually, Lord Krishna gives us a prayer that we should give to him, the Lord. And in this prayer, Lord Krishna asks us to meditate on him, to meditate on his lotus feet as the one who is tamasa parastat. I will read the verse. Kavim Puranam Anu Sasitaram Anor Aniyam Sam Anus Maretyaha Sarvasya Dataram Achintya Rupam Aditya Varnam Tamasa Parastat. It's chapter of Bhagavad Gita. One should meditate upon the Supreme Person as the one who knows everything, as who is the oldest, who is the controller, who is the smallest and the smallest, who is the maintainer of everything, who is beyond all material conception, who is inconceivable, and who is always a person. And Chintya Rupam, a very inconceivable person. He is luminous like the sun, Aditya Varnam. And he is the one who is transcendental beyond this material nature. Those Tamasa Parastat. Here, among Tamas, Tamogun, who is the representation of the material world, actually. We are all in Tamogun, more or less. Even Srila Prabhupada, on the Back to Godhead magazine, is putting the Chaitanya Charitamrita verse. Krishna Suryasa Mayor Andakor, Yan Krishna Tanai Mayor Adikor. Krishna is like the sun, the material world is darkness, where is no and illusion. When there is Krishna, there is no illusion, there is no darkness. So here, Tamasa Parastat, and we make the point with the verse we are studying today. Laxmi Devi is praying in her heart to have a husband, Vishnu, who is among the modes of material nature. Although the people who are just before him are already quite advanced persons. They're already advanced persons. The people she's describing are not far from it, ordinary karmis. They are just, we can say, not, or they are not breaking grossly the principles of religion, but still they are still under the influence of the modes of material nature, and then they cannot be really good husband for her, because she's looking for someone with Tamasa Parastat and who is really among the modes of material nature. So now, how to get rid of these modes? To get rid of these modes, of course, we know we should surrender to Lord Krishna. Manmana Bhava Mad Bhakto Mamiyaji Mam Namaskuru. We should put Krishna in our mind all the times. Mamevesyasi Satyamte Pratijane Priyo Sime. And in this way, definitely, if we meditate all the times on Lord Krishna, just by meditation on Lord Krishna, definitely we'll get liberation from the modes of material nature. At this point, I may tell a personal story. And in year 2000, by some mercy, I could go to Manipur, who is the place of birth of my Gurudev, late Bhakti Swarup Swami. And for 1 week, I had a strong association with my Gurudev. It was very nice. And I realize now that, unfortunately, inside, I didn't have always the right attitude. You see, because there's the influence of material nature, I believe. Of course, I was very happy to be with my Gurudev. But still, you see, the place was new, and I had this tendency to see this, or if I were in charge of this, I would do like this, I would do like that. I was thinking of this like this, you see. And in one sense, indirectly, I was criticizing, would have criticized. Oh, the temple should be run like this and like that. Okay. But still, I was very happy to be with my Gurudev. And when I left the place after 1 week, Manipur, and I went back to France, I went back to work in the office. And then my colleagues, they said to me, "Oh dear, you've changed. What has happened to you? You really have changed." For me, considering that I was a great offender, I didn't think I had changed. But still, by just the influence of being close to my Gurudev for 1 week, I would say full time, but just by the purificatory process, still, you see, even you don't notice, you really feel a change. The one who is completely absorbed in devotional service, who is really a dear servant of Lord Krishna and dear servant of Prabhupada, can really, by his influence, although you may not be aware of it, give you a full benediction by giving you a change that you even don't notice. So the people here we consider in the verse, already we could say they are definitely on the platform of sattva guna, which is the minimum you have to reach in order to get some elevation in spiritual life. But still, in spiritual life, we consider that sattva gun is good, is right, the first step, but what we have to reach is the stage of nirgun, above the gun, above the modes of material nature. Actually, the modes of material nature, they are described in the scriptures as ropes which bind us very, very tightly in the material world. Well, we can use the rope also in the material nature. We can use the rope which is sent by Krishna from the spiritual sky. Catch the rope, and definitely Krishna will elevate us to the spiritual sky. There is one nice verse from Sri Brahma Samhita. He is here. Verse 41 from 41, yes. Maya iyasya jagatanta satani sute tre gunyatva tadvisaya vedavita yamana sadvalambi param sadvam visuddha sadvam govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. I worship Govinda, the original person, who is Maya, composed of 3 gunas by the Vedas, and which distributes knowledge of Vedas concerning the material universe, produces hundreds of universes, and whose pure sattva is superior to the pure sattva which supports material mixed sattva. In other words, yes, Lord Krishna, Vasudeva, is the master of the gunas. But as a great director, CIO, he gives the power to other people in order to do the job. And the one who is qualified to do the job as far as take charge of the tamogun is Lord Shiva. And even Lord Shiva, also he delegates the job to someone else, Maya Devi. That is to say Durga, Goddess Durga. She is taking charge of the mode of tamas, tamogun. So now Goddess Durga, she is a pure devotee of the Lord, and she's doing a job very nicely. And here, actually, in the commentary given by Bhaktivinoda Thakur, actually, Brahma Samhita has 3 commentators who give the same conclusion. So the first one we know is Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Maharaj, who is taking inspiration from Bhaktivinoda Thakur, who has given a strong explanation of Brahma Samhita. And the first one who has given a strong explanation of Brahma Samhita is Jiva Goswami. So, as far as this verse is concerned, the purport given by Bhaktivinoda is very short. I will give it to you because it's quite interesting and very relevant to our verse. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur Maharaj, Prabhupada, says here, creation is caused by Rajoguna, Raja, passion, Brahma. Maintenance after creation is caused by Sattva, maintenance. Sattva mixed with Rajaguna. So even with Vishnu here, if we consider that Sattva Gun is controlled by Lord Vishnu, there is some influence of, according to Bhaktivinoda Thakur Maharaj Prabhupada, there is some Rajaguna. Destruction is caused by Tamoguna. Destruction is caused by Tamoguna, Lord Shiva. Material Sattva is mixed with Raja and Tamas. But Sattva unmixed with Rajas and Tamas is non-material and eternal. Let's say again. But Sattva unmixed with Rajas and Tamas, Sattvas unmixed with Rajas, is non-material and eternal. It is Parasattva. He whose svarupa is situated in Parasattva is Vishuddha Sattva, beyond Maya, beyond the material world, without material gunas and full of knowledge and bliss. The Vedas concerned with the three gunas and including all rules in the material world describe this Maya. And actually, therefore, we have to be in. Therefore, we have to be in Sudha Sattva. And after this, there is still Visuddha Sattva is we can say is not really the full transcendental situation. There is still something after Visuddha Sattva, which is a pure devotional service of Krishna. Because Visuddha Sattva is a state of being, but Visuddha Sattva, we cannot stay in Visuddha Sattva in one sense if we are not situated in pure devotional service of the Lord. So I think we can stop here. Thank you very much for your tolerance and listening. Now, yes, you are going to be in devotional service. Altogether, we shall try to be. There is a great devotional service here, given today, by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, that is book distribution. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you for the class, Prabhuji. In the end, you were speaking that we have to go from sattva to Vishuddha Sattva, and Vishuddha Sattva cannot be reached unless we are doing pure devotional service. So, little related to that, I was just reading that pure devotional service should be free from the desire for fruitive activities and empirical speculation. Anya abhilashita shunyam. So, can you tell, as devotees, as practicing devotee, what are the ways in which I can get into fruitive activities and empirical speculation? Because I'm not a jnani externally, I'm trying to be a devotee. But in devotee life, how it should be pure, not mixed with these kind of tendencies. Can you tell what are the tendencies which are having this?
Yes. Thank you very much, Prabhuji, for your question. Actually, we have to purify, to my understanding, we have to purify desire. Actually, we have come here in the material world because we wanted it for one reason or one other. So there is devotional service, practical devotional service, which is given to us by Gurudev, by Srila Prabhupada and his followers. But even in the course of achieving achieving the best we can, or practical devotional service, even still, there may be some selfish desire. Okay, my Gurudev has given me such and such service. Okay, I'm doing it. But even while performing this practical devotional service, I may have, for instance, the desire, to show everyone that I'm the best doing my devotional service. This is actually a separatist mentality, and the purification of desire means that our only desire should please Lord Krishna, and therefore to perform nice devotional service is actually to be free from false ego, and to purify the desire. Although we may apparently have the desire to perform our devotional service nicely, still we may have some ego. We surely have some ego, and this ego should not be false. We are not attached to false ego. We are attached to pure ego, and pure ego is pure service to Lord Krishna. So in other words, we have really have to be introspective. Why after all I'm performing my devotional service? Is it really to get the blessings of Krishna, or do I have any other desires? And to make sure that we can please Krishna to one aspect or another, to make sure that we have to make sure that we please the devotees, because Krishna is a Supreme Father, and if we please the Gurudev, of course, but also all the devotees by attitude, humble attitude. Then therefore, yes, by attitude, by introspection, by purification of desire, then hopefully we can engage in devotional service, and the mango which is green at the beginning will ripen little by little, and hopefully it will be just taste like nectar after some time. Did I answer your question?
Thank you.
Right. Yes? Other questions or comments? So we welcome here Sundar Gopal Prabhu, or restaurant manager. This is a service to give everyone prashadam. Prashadam in the form of books, prashadam in the form of food, yes. Hare Krishna. Shri Prabhupada Patita Pavan ki